Now, you've probably heard this on many different podcasts, my many different pundits at this point. Hell, you've even heard it on this channel from me. But I am not ever going to get tired of saying this. The Bloodline storyline in WWE is one of the best that WWE has ever told. It certainly is of the past 10, 15, 20 years. And if you want proof, look no further than the segment, two plus segments, that the tribal court lasted on last week's SmackDown. How the whole show revolves around the Bloodline storyline. It revolves around Roman Reigns and the Usos and Paul Heyman and Solo Sikoa. That's basically why people tune in to watch SmackDown, and I believe the actual number was around 3 million viewers just for the tribal court segment between Roman Reigns and Jey Uso, where pretty much Roman Reigns, when it was all said and done, tricked his cousins and the crowd and the audience at home that he was going to give Jey Uso the position as tribal chief of the Bloodline, which obviously he didn't. And then there was a little bit of tease from Solo Sikoa there. Maybe he wants to be tribal chief, maybe not. He is, for now, just the enforcer. Again, but it has just been brilliant TV. And then Jimmy Uso gets beaten down by Reigns, by Sikoa, by the entire Bloodline, by what's left of the Bloodline at this point, which leads to Jey Uso coming out enraged after what happened to his twin brother and challenges Roman Reigns to a one-on-one match, presumably at SummerSlam, presumably for the undisputed Universal Championship. And I like the way he did it because it basically gave me the same vibe of Black Panther and Killmonger in that very first Black Panther movie. Something like that in terms of a royal challenge in this case, or a tribal challenge in this case, for WWE. Everything that they do, everything that they've done up until this point has pretty much been cinematic when it comes to the Bloodline. And they've achieved amazing things. Roman Reigns is finally the face of the company, the face, the heel, the superstar, the persona, the presence that the WWE has always wanted Joe Anoa'i to be for World Wrestling Entertainment. And in that process, they've gotten the Usos over. They've gotten Solo Sikoa over. They've gotten Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens over. They've gotten Drew McIntyre over. They've gotten Cody Rhodes over. And so many more. So many more. Everyone that works with the Bloodline ends up in a better place after it, even if they were on the losing end of their battle against the Bloodline. And that is key to a great story. That is key to a fantastic stable. Now, with that said, the reason people tune in, or the reason the amount of people are tuning in to watch the Bloodline and everything that's going on, the drama, the twists and the turns, the betrayals, everything involving the Bloodline at this moment, it's not because they want to see the Bloodline back on top. It's not because they want to see the Bloodline dominating SmackDown like they used to and like they did for 2+ years. No. They keep tuning back in. They keep coming back week after week and paying close attention, not only because it is fantastic television, it is nail-biting, you actually can't take your eyes off it, but they keep coming back because they want to see the implosion, the full dissolution of the Bloodline. They've been following the story for almost 3 years at this point, practically 3 years at this point. And they're so invested in this story that they want to see its conclusion. They want to see it through. They want to see how WWE lands this story. And the only reason why it's not the best story in professional wrestling of all time, in my opinion, again, that's a big statement to give it, but at least for now, you can't really start that discussion because it hasn't landed. The story's not over. We have to wait how this ends. And it's not going to end at SummerSlam with Jey Uso versus Roman Reigns. It's not going to end there because you still have to deal with the Solo Sikoa problem that's going to lead on later in the year. So we've still got a few more months of this storyline going strong. And nobody's complaining. Nobody's complaining because people want to watch. People are enthralled with this. And the reason people are enthralled with this, they're invested in this, is because it takes key elements of every single person watching all of their lives. And that is family drama. Everybody can relate to having cousins, brothers, family drama, family problems that they have to resolve. A stronger family that works together and gets things done. Everybody can relate to that, and then obviously that leads to issues, drama that they have to resolve. Obviously, I just said that. But everybody can relate to that, which is why everyone is so invested in this storyline. So every single step, every single turn that they take so far has been the absolute best way possible. And the best thing about how WWE Creative has handled this is they know they have options on where to take this story. They teased us last week with Jey Uso being the tribal chief, and they could have remained that way. They could have remained that course for tonight and for the following week, and then that leads to a SummerSlam match, and that would have been a completely different view of things going into the biggest show of the summer for WWE. And fans would have watched anyway. Fans would have been just excited about seeing that. And much like back in Sami Zayn's tribal court, if Sami Zayn got kicked out then, instead of a little bit later, fans would have wanted to watch that too. So again, they tease us with different options at different times that either way, either option they take keeps the fans invested. It keeps the fans interested. And that is why the Bloodline storyline is where it is today. That's why it engulfs SmackDown. That's why SmackDown is the best main roster WWE show. It's better than Raw. Because SmackDown has a direction. SmackDown has a focal point. And that is the Bloodline. And they're trying to build that on Raw with Judgment Day. They still have to work a few kinks out over there. But over here on SmackDown, like tonight, you're watching because you want to see what goes on next. You want to see what Roman Reigns has to say, what Jey Uso has to say, what's going to lead into this SummerSlam blockbuster Undisputed Universal Championship match. So with that said, what are your thoughts? What are your thoughts on last week's tribal court involving Roman Reigns, Jey Uso, Jimmy Uso, Solo Sikoa, the whole entire bloodline? What are your thoughts on last week's segment? You stick around for the full 40 minutes that it was on at the beginning of the show. Obviously, it led into more later on in the show. Leave your thoughts, comments, and predictions in the comment section below. In the meantime, tune in later on tonight to TNT for Rampage. Tune in later on tonight to Fox. I believe Fox or Fox Sports 1 for SmackDown. And then we got Collision tomorrow night, obviously on TNT as well. So with that said, I'm Alexis Carrillo. This has been Wrestling Talk, and I'll see you next time.